Good to go. Mike is joining us by phone, and he may be in the waiting room. No, he's just having a hard time today.
Not yet. Oh, there he is.
Yay. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Okay. All right. I'm going to call this meeting of the Sea to Sky Regional Hospital District Board to order. Could I have someone move approval of the agenda as was sent out yesterday? Moved by Director Crompton, seconded by Director Stoner. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Do I have to read M192 again? Thank you. Could I have someone move the consent agenda?
Oh, sorry, Chair. Just a motion
To approve it.
To approve it. Thanks.
A motion to approve M192, moved by Director Stoner, seconded by Director Mack. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now the consent agenda, which is the minutes and a letter from the Lionsgate, moved by Director Mack, seconded by Director Crompton. Any discussion? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Any business arising from the minutes? Seeing none. CAO verbal update 6.1.
Thank you, Chair. I'm good for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Did I see a comment and post-motion comment from Director Crompton? No? Okay. 6.2, the letter to Honorable Adrian Dix regarding changes to the Health District Act, Hospital District Act, which are long overdue. Any questions or comments on this letter? I was really pleased to see this. Thank you. This is something that we are, I think, well positioned to send right now. So this is great. Could I have someone move the letter? Moved by Director Rainbow, seconded by Director Stoner. Any further discussion? Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Do we have, okay, let's bring Director LaFrance in to do 6.3. Good afternoon, Director LaFrance. Thank you for being here. We're on 6.3 with the audited financial statements and the auditor's report.
Okay, so I'm Suzanne LaFrance, Director of Finance, and just presenting the 2020 audited Sea to Sky Regional Hospital District financial statements with the auditor report and the management report. Obviously, you saw this last month, but if there's any other questions, I can answer them.
Great. Any questions? Seeing none. Thank you. Could I have someone move receipt of the information? Moved by Director Rainbow, seconded by Director Mack. Any further discussion? Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Chair's verbal update. I have nothing, but I will pass it 7.2 hospital name change on to Director Rainbow for his report.
Yeah, after our last meeting, I was talking to Dr. Cranston, and he happens to be my doctor. And I asked him what he would think of if we changed the name of Squamish Hospital to Sea to Sky Regional Hospital. He quite liked the idea and was going to take it to his medical advisory committee. My reasoning for it, which I try to lay out in that, we're talking about wanting to expand the hospital, wanting to provide more services there that are going to be extremely expensive. So we're going to have to be engaged in fundraising and in fundraising. And it seems to me that if you live in Pemberton or Whistler or Black Tusk or Furry Creek, if you're asked to contribute to the Sea to Sky Regional Hospital, it's a little more palatable than the Squamish Hospital. It is a regional hospital. You know, we have people from, you know, we visit the long-term care facility frequently, or we were up until COVID. And there are people from all over the region. There are people from Darcy, from Pemberton, from Whistler. I'm not sure to do that, but I just sort of like bring it forward to this board and see whether there's any support for the idea, and if there is, to investigate how we go about that. So I don't, what if I
Yeah,
got a bit of a motion?
Yeah, I think that there are a number of organizations that would have to be engaged in this discussion. I think it's certainly a piece of work that we can do at a political level to see if there's support from those organizations before we go any further. I think that would be sort of the best first step, would just be to have these conversations at a variety of tables and see what the appetite out there is. There would obviously be some financial implications for everyone involved. So any other comments or questions? Go ahead, Director Stoner, then Director Pettengill.
Yeah, I agree that I sort of require a few conversations before we were to try and move on a decision on this. I know that there are some longtime residents of Squamish who have been actively involved in the building and development of the hospital to date, who probably feel quite strongly one way or another, but I'm neither here nor there. I just think we need to, this is not our decision to make, and make sure that we do our due diligence if that's something that we do want to pursue.
Thank you. Director Pettengill.
Yeah, thanks. The reasons Director Rainbow gave make a lot of sense to me, but the one thing that this made me wonder is, does the SLRD have a naming policy of any sort? And in particular, I'm thinking of reconciliation and Indigenous naming and that sort of thing, and how that is generally considered.
I don't know. I think that's definitely something to consider. CAO Helmer, do you have any insight into a naming policy?
Thank you, Chair Ford. I have not come across or seen any naming policy in our organization. I don't think we have one.
Okay. Director Rainbow?
Would this, it wouldn't be an SLRD naming policy though, would it? It would be the regional hospital district that we're talking. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that we would have a vote today and say, yes, we're going to change the name. I just wanted to bring it forward in a formal way and talk about how, if there's any interest, and then, you know, then how do we go about it? And I would agree that if we were to just make a decision, that would be completely wrong. We'd need to talk to the Squamish Hospital Foundation, the foundation in Whistler. We'd need to talk to doctors' groups. I just know that the initial conversation I had with James was that he thought, looking at it from the point of view of fundraising and sort of buy-in from surrounding communities, he thought it was a good idea. So based on that, I thought it was worth bringing it forward to this group and seeing where to go from there. I'm happy to do some more work on it if I was asked to do it, or I'm happy to just let somebody else do the work if they want to.
Okay. Any strong feelings from Pemberton?
No, I see the rationale. I think that everybody's brought up good points or challenges. You know, people that have been invested, not just financially, in developing Squamish General. I completely see Director Rainbow's rationale. So I'm happy to see the conversation go to the appropriate tables if that's the next step. I don't know what those tables are exactly and who has those conversations, but I'm happy to stay open to the conversation.
Okay. So I think let's go away, Director Rainbow, you and I can talk about it. So I have some ideas of some groups that I sit with, but I'm certainly happy for you to take the lead on this, to engage with Squamish Hospital Foundation. And I know that you have close ties with the Hospice Society. All of those groups will be interesting sounding boards for this idea. And then we can come back at a future meeting and present something, whether it's further steps that we need staff to take or anything we find out. Is that fair?
Sure, yeah. That's great. And you mentioned hospice, and the hospice exists at Squamish because of a dedicated group of people in Squamish that worked for years to bring that about. And then at the last moment, when Mr. Blackcomb stepped forward with a large chunk of money, the name was changed and it became the Mr. Blackcomb See the Sky Hospice. And I don't think anybody was upset about that. You know, I think if you're engaged in that kind of fundraising with that and have that kind of mission for your community, I don't think you necessarily get hung up on particular names. So I think I agree that we need to talk to everybody that's been involved in this hospital and in healthcare throughout the region. And I'm really happy to talk with you more, Jen, and to see where we want to go from there. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. I don't think we need a motion at this time.
No.
And there was no late business. And any notice of motion from any directors? Seeing none. Could I have a motion to go into closed? Oh, go ahead, Director Clark. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, could we have a motion to receive Director Rainbow's
Okay.
director's report? Thank you.
Okay, motion to receive, moved by Director Crompton, seconded by Director Stoner. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And now a motion to go into closed, moved by Director Stoner, seconded by Director Crompton. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Can we stay in this link and you just turn off the live stream?